And then the other scene where the dude is in the riding lawnmower and he's going down the hill cutting the grass, and all of a sudden he just steps off the thing, goes up, and gets in front of the riding lawnmower while it's operating. I'm like, holy shit. So I'm thinking this is full on, like, the world has been taken over. You know, people gonna start eating each other's fucking faces and shit. And we're just gonna, you know, whoever survives, I hope they're not infected, like some I Am Legend type of shit, right?
Right.
But then at the end of the movie, they're talking about nature has decided to fight back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, night. What are you doing, dog? What the fuck is this? What kind of fucking ending is this? Where nature decides it's gonna fight back? I mean, nature does that already with natural disasters. The fuck is this?
yeah. I don't know. But yeah, legit. Like, so that movie came out, and then Venom came out,
right?
And then I was like, all right. Now we get Morbius. Now we got Black Adam,
right?
Which Black Adam technically isn't a villain, but he's like an anti-hero.
Most definitely.
But then you got like, and in that aspect, you got fucking Deadpool, which is also an anti-hero,
right?
And I think the main push for that was just because, like I said, it was that tragedy that was called Logan. Oh, not Logan. Sorry. My apologies. Wolverine Origins, the tragedy that was called Wolverine Origins.
Oh, so
that's what I was. So yeah, that tragic fucking film, that train wreck of a movie.
That movie was a fucking shit show, man. Because the Silver Samurai, the fuck, what was that? The Silver Samurai was an actual mutant, and in this movie, they like manufacture this motherfucker like he's a damn Samsung flat screen TV or some shit.
See, but that was a lot of them old movies though, because you look at the X-Men movie. Look at the X-Men movie, the Juggernaut. Juggernaut wasn't a mutant. Juggernaut got his powers from cosmic magic powers. He is a magical person.
Right. He got his powers from the Jewel of Sidorak. And
now he was a mutant. Like, really? A mutant in the movie? Come on, man.
So I remember when I watched X-Men back in 2000 when they first released it. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Finally, somebody did this shit, right?
Right.
And then I'm watching it and I'm thinking, they've got decades of comics to refer to. The blueprint has already been drafted.
See, with the problem. Why is the problem with that?
I was like, why these motherfuckers in black leather suits?
There was a problem with that because that went back to the rights thing. That went back to the whole
but
who owned the rights to everything. But they didn't own the rights. Like they owned the characters, but not the comic rights. Kind of like the whole. I don't know if you knew about the whole like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver thing.
Oh yeah. Because if you look at Age of Ultron, and you look at what's the other movie?
First Class.
It shows them in the end. They're in the teaser trailer,
right?
And they're caged up, and you look at the two. One is, let me see. One was Marvel, and then the other was who was it? Fox.
Right.
Yeah.
So what it was is the Fox had the rights. Fox actually had the rights to the name Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Okay.
And then the Avengers, so basically Wanda and Pietro were Avengers. But they're basically versions of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Were they actually Avengers in the comic book, though?
Yes, in the comic they were. So basically, because they were Avengers, Disney still had the rights to the Avenger characters.
Right.
So, which technically was only Pietro and Wanda.
But Disney owns Marvel, right?
They own part of it. because like I said, the rights were all weird because back in the 90s, Marvel was going bankrupt. They were going bankrupt.
They was giving up. That's why you had the Universal owned the Hulk, the rights to the Hulk.
Right.
Hey, that first one was like used up wet tissue paper, man. That's about how good it was. That first Hulk movie, god dang.
And you know why? Edward Norton didn't come back, right? Because his ass wanted to be like more creative. So I don't know. We would have seen some weird ass Hulk. I don't know if he's a comic fan or not.
Yeah. So
I don't know. But he wanted more creative control over the character.
Probably would have Hulk wearing glasses and fucking. What was that one Hulk? Joe. What was his name? He's not the Gray Hulk, but the gangster Hulk. Joe something. But he probably.
You talking about the gray haired dude? That's what you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the version of Hulk that was walking around with a three-piece suit, three-piece pinstripe suit, dressed like a gangster with a fedora and everything.
Oh shit!
Let me look.
Because I thought you were talking about the Maestro. Maestro, that's like Planet Hulk.
Right.
I hope we see that video, that movie now.
No, they need to go ahead and make that shit happen for real, don't they?
Because basically Logan technically takes place in that universe,
right?
With the Maestro Hulk. So like that part of the world that they were hiding out in, there's like a whole different part of that fucking whole universe.
Yeah.
So there's like a whole like basically the Hulk married She-Hulk and they're like inbred and it's crazy. It's crazy, bro.
God dang.
It's crazy. Cause
no.
So the Hulk married She-Hulk and they got all kind of inbred Hulk children and they took over like half of the United States. And
I say that explains why Scar so fucked up, don't it?
Yeah.
Well, Scar's half alien anyway, so
right. But it was wild, bro. I was like, what the hell? Right. And yeah, I guess that one was it was like a Planet Hulk, I think was the name of that comic. Or I mean, Old Man Logan, I think was the original. Was where Logan came from.
Yeah.
But yeah. And but yeah, that's where the Maestro Hulk.
Joe Fix-It. That's his name.
Joe Fix-It.
Joe Fix-It. But he's from a different timeline.
And that's why I wondered, like, it was Edward Norton. Is he a comic book fan? I don't know.
Right.
Is he like a Nicolas Cage? Like, because Nicolas Cage, that motherfucker loves Superman. Yeah, he was actually going to be Superman.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. And that was before they had I want to say that was before. No, that was after that trash ass Superman Returns. You remember that bullshit movie?
Yeah, you know that dude. He plays the Atom in the TV shows.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the Atom in the DC shows.
And Legends of Tomorrow.
And it's funny because they talk about it. They talk about it because and actually in one of the crossover episodes, he actually reprised that role. He played Superman. He played Superman.
Yeah, he don't need to do that.
Well, it was for the storyline because they did basically a Flashpoint.
Right.
And they had all the universes converge, and they did like flashback. Like I said, they did crossovers from every show, bro. It was nuts. They had the Titans on there, like the Titans TV show. Like they did a flashback to that universe. Then they did to freaking Smallville, to freaking Lois and Clark. Okay. Every instance of fucking Superman and Batman and like I said, was it Henry? What's his name? Conroy? Yeah. He that shit gave me chills, bro. So like Batwoman goes to this thing because she got to see, because she's like the paragon of like hope or some shit like that. Yeah. So then she goes to another Earth and she's got to find somebody. I forgot who it was that she had to go find. But then it turned out, like I thought everybody thought she was just going to find another version of herself. Nice. And she goes in and she goes into the Batcave. And then, did you hear that voice? And I'm like, bro, I know that voice. And then he was playing himself, and he was playing Bruce Wayne, And I was like, what? That's crazy.
That's pretty dope right there.
But yeah, it was pretty sick. I was like, that's dope. I was like, they thought of everything in this motherfucker.
Okay. Yeah, that's
like that TV universe, bro. Yeah. There's so many Easter eggs inside that motherfucker.
I mean, what's cool about that to me is the way they have been, and DC's doing it. I will say DC hands down has the better TV shows, only because it seems like they got more experience on the small screen, whereas Marvel has like the live action big screen. They got that in spades. But if you look at TV show wise, pound for pound, the DCEU is way better on the small screen because they can just push these things out like a rabbit having babies and shit like that, you know?
Like I said, I don't understand Marvel.
Right.
I don't understand their logic with a lot of shit, like, because they had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. come out.
Yeah.
And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while was kind of keeping up with the movies.
Okay.
But then the head dude in Marvel came out and said that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. universe is not necessarily the same as the fucking regular MCU.
Right.
Although in like the first couple of seasons, Lady Sif showed up.
Yep.
Nick Cage showed up.
Right.
Who else? Fucking or not Nick Cage.
How do you explain having Agent Coulson in there? And then they even did a reference to when he died in Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So it was kind of like it looked like they were trying to connect them, and then it got too complicated because I guess the storylines didn't line up because it was like, bro, if they're fighting fucking Ultron, what the fuck are they fighting Hydra over here for?
Okay.
You know, and I think that's where it got weird because it got kind of confusing because basically when there was a part in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where Hydra took over.
Yeah.
And I thought we was about to get Captain America joining Hydra. I thought that was about to be a movie.
Yeah, man.
But that never happened.
Right.
They were on some other, what was it? What was that art? I think that was during fucking Infinity War.
Right.
So, but then you got to think like all this Infinity War shit's going on. So why is everybody not focused on Infinity War? Why is there like, you know, these people fighting other shit? But like how many things are trying to kill the world at the same time? Okay. And it was just weird. And I think that's part of the reason because they even referenced the bullets. Yeah. So remember when the Chitauri ships crashed and everybody started getting all the fucking alien technology and shit?
Talking about like in Spider-Man No Way Home or Homecoming? Right. But
if you watch Luke Cage, those bullets are made out of the Chitauri ships. They're depleted uranium basically from those ships.
Right.
And that's the only thing that can pierce his skin. And they mentioned that. Right. And they say that it's from the New York event. So they reference the movies, even in a freaking Netflix series, which is like part of it, but not part of it. But now it is part of it.
But it's still in the same universe, still in the same timeline. So I don't get why you can't, because if you're using the attack on New York as like a point of reference, then build on that. You know what I'm saying? That would be like basically being able to say like what they did in Spider-Man Homecoming. You got the Vulture and his crew in there, and they snatching up precious metal from some of the work sites and shit like that. So I don't see why you can't make that reference. Like, first off, why would they not make the reference and then build on that, but they can do it in Spider-Man No Way Home? But they're trying to separate the big screen from the small screen, which is why it blows my mind that you've got Daredevil